Mikey on the beat, Mikey on the beat.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Mike from Music Made Me, and I'm here bringing you guys another video. Some real quick, some that everybody should know as a producer, as an engineer, and not necessarily an engineer, because a lot of people don't take you serious when you say you're an engineer or a producer when you got FL Studio. But at the end of the day, man, it doesn't matter what they think. Just keep doing you and keep grinding. So what I'm going to show you guys how to do is just to export the stems without unnecessary channels, because you see right now I have everything pretty much not named right now, which is kind of bad because I have to go in there and name all the stuff that I need, and I'll take care of that before I actually show you guys real quick. So what you do is name every single mixer, because when you export this is going to be the way they're going to come out when you're exporting it. So that's the main reason why you got to do that. Just keep that in mind. And so now what you want to do is pretty much you want to mute every channel that you don't want to use, because trust me, I have rendered so many to know that you don't need the master on, because it's going to render individual channels. You're not going to render the whole thing as a whole. You're going to turn off all the ones that you're not using. For example, me, I'm not using none of these. These are already off. And I don't have any effects. I only have my tag on. So I could mute everything else. All I need is my instruments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There should be only 12 tracks that I'm exporting. So then you go to export, file export, or control R, but make sure you go on wave, because wave is the best. I mean, you could do whatever you want. It's better to stay in the resolution that you're already working on. A lot of these files are 24-bit, so I'm going to stay on 24-bit. You could go 16-bit. It's really preference, but 16, 24, 32 is a little overkill. You're going to use a lot of space, but whatever you want to do, you want to make sure you have the full song. And I leave tail remainder just in case there's any reverb, because I am sending wet stems and dry stems. You could do that by just turning off all the effects and just leaving them on. It really depends how the engineer wants them. I'm going to keep it at 24, and I'm going to keep it at 512 because I want the maximum quality. This stuff, I just keep it how it is. It's always been like this, so I always keep it how it is. Down here is the important part for this. I want to have the trim delay just in case there's any latency issues, and I'll also want to make sure that I put split mixer tracks. What that's going to do is going to split each individual track to its own. So when you put start rendering, it's going to ask you before you actually export it to where you want to save it. I make sure that I have a folder saved for that. You see, this is the name of the track is called Patience, and it's 140 BPM. So I'm going to export it, and it should go directly to there. And it usually takes a little while. It really depends on how fast your computer is. All right, cool. And another thing I forgot to mention, it's already done. I could show you guys, but one thing I forgot to do is turn off my limiter off my sub bass. It was actually a great thing that I messed up and forgot, because I need to show you guys. In Pro Tools, it's different. In Personas, it's different. But in FL Studio, at least in my opinion, in my experience, every time you have a limiter or a sidechain on your kick and your bass, when you export it with the limiter on, it's going to affect the sound of the sub. So what you want to do is you want to turn it off. I forgot to turn it off. So now what I have to do is redo the whole thing pretty much. You could just export one track at a time, but it just takes too long. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to export it. It's going to ask you where you want to put it. Go back to the same folder. Okay, and now I'm gonna go back to the same thing, but what it's gonna do is just gonna give me everything the way I want it to sound, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so now it's done. As you guys can see right here, these are all the stems, and I believe there's only 12 items. Yes, there's only 12 items in total, like I counted earlier. So what you want to do is double make sure that everything's working. So you can go to the bottom of here. It doesn't really matter where you do it, but you want to grab all the files from here, and you want to drag them into here so you can hear what's going on, and you can hear the beat alone just with everything rendered, and you could see how everything came out. And just in case you need anything fixed or anything, All right, so what I'm trying to show you guys is what you can see here. The dynamics are not affected on the 808 sub bass, whatever you're working on. But when you do leave the limiter on, you will actually see the cut inside the 808, and you will hear the click, almost like a popping sound. So just in case you guys ever had that issue, I'm letting you know, you have to make sure you turn it off in FL Studio. I will do a video on hopefully Pro Tools and definitely on Presonus how to do the same thing, but it doesn't affect it. You see, it kind of bypasses that sidechain for stems, you know. So that's just a quick way to get your stems rolling, guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, if there's anything I missed, please let me know. I'm always open for more suggestions. So I hope you guys learned something new today. If you did, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. This is your boy Mike from Music Made Me, and I'll see you guys on the next one.